back to another video. I'm Charlie, and today we're going to be doing a review and demo on the Macintosh TV. The Macintosh TV was originally released in 1993. It was a computer based off the Macintosh LC520, but with TV capabilities, so the badge is pretty self-explanatory. The only differences that you would get from an LC520 is an IR sensor instead of a microphone, and an incredible looking black case. The only problem with this case is that dust and grime are very common to see, and they are very visible on this case. On the front, the computer features a CD caddy and a 1.4 megabyte floppy drive, and on the bottom over here there are brightness controls and volume controls and a headphone jack. On the back of the computer, you will see an array of different ports, including some new ports that you have probably never seen on a Mac. You have the two standard Apple desktop bus ports, a printer port, a modem port, an external hard drive or a floppy drive port, and a few other new ports for the TV capabilities that include VGA cables and a VHF port. These features give the Macintosh TV capabilities, and along that you have a really simple way of opening up the computer by just pressing down these two knobs, and then you have full access to the motherboard that you can just pull out with a simple pull. As you can see, the motherboard looks pretty standard, besides for the fact that there is a large TV tuner here and these three VGA ports. So now by this point, you're probably thinking that this is a cool computer with this cool black case and the ability to have TV capabilities and have VGA ports, so you could probably plug in a vintage game console of some sort. Well, this is the part of the video where I show you why this thing flopped so terribly. Because you've probably gone on eBay right now and tried to see if you could find one, but only probably found one listing that's probably for like $2,000. So this is why the Macintosh TV did so badly. So first of all, this computer was based off of the Macintosh LC520 that had 32 megabytes of RAM. This only had 8 megabytes of RAM, and it was not expandable whatsoever. And people didn't really think that the TV capability was such a cool thing. And the price tag of $2,079 didn't help matters either. So basically, this computer was a Sony Trinitron inside of a Macintosh case with TV capabilities. It's kind of a shame that this thing failed because it was a really cool computer, and as a result, it was only for sale for 4 months before Apple pulled the plug, and because of that, only 10,000 of these were made. Most of these nowadays are broken or do not exist anymore, or have probably been recycled, because these break very commonly. But luckily mine works, and I'm going to show you a demonstration of it. Now, I have probably already mentioned the IR sensor at the top of the computer, so this is probably a good time to introduce to you this. This is the Macintosh TV remote. This is a remote that was featured also on the 20th anniversary Macintosh. It's basically the size of a credit card, and it has all these TV capabilities. You can mute it, you can change the volume, you can change the channel, you can change to the TV, video, or Mac, you can change the display, you can stop or eject something, you can reverse whatever you're watching, forward whatever you're watching, play and pause whatever you're watching, and power on and off the computer. This computer also came with a line of very cool and exclusive accessories. For example, the black Macintosh Apple desktop bus keyboard and mouse. These are extremely rare to find by themselves, and they can go for about $200 a piece. I was lucky enough and got both of these essentials to come with the computer, and this computer came at a low price of only $400, which is a very great deal for this. Another very rare thing that comes with this computer is this. This is probably the rarest Apple essential you will ever see. This is the black Macintosh Apple desktop bus cable for the keyboard. And this might not seem so rare, but these are extremely rare. There's never been a listing on eBay for this, but it is a very cool But these are some very cool features for the computer. So now that I've gotten everything out of the way, it is time to power this thing on and show you the software. Alright guys, so now that the computer is all plugged in and set up, it is time to power it on. So there are two ways you can power this on. You can power it on with the remote control with the power button. It's probably the coolest way. Or you can power it on with the button on the keyboard. Unfortunately, my remote does not work. I've changed the batteries and it just does not respond to anything. It might be the IR sensor or the remote, but who knows. It's not really such a big deal because you can do everything without the remote that you could normally do. So yeah, now that the computer is all set up, we can start it up. So let's do it. Right guys, so now the computer is booted up to the desktop and given me this annoying error about the clock not being set to the right time. It is time to do the demonstration of the software. Alright guys, so as soon as you turn on the computer and you've booted it up, you should probably get these two control panels. This one is the TV setup control panel, and this one is the screen setup. So I like the screen setup how it is, and I don't really want to change it. So, yeah, screen brightness is fine how it is. So I would like to mention that mine has my computer has CRT problems. For example, sometimes the CRT turns off at random moments, or or it just doesn't turn on at all, or it just has this weird green box around the actual screen. But otherwise, it's perfectly fine. There's no burn-in, there's no color alignment issues. But yeah. So basically, what this channel setup is basically what you can do here is you can select what channels you have on analog TV, and yeah, you can change what you have and what you don't have, so you don't get the annoying fuzziness. You can also change the computer switching hotkey, which is basically a command on how to change the TV mode. And I'm not really sure what this control panel is, because there's so little information about this actual computer on the internet. But yeah, so now that we're booted up, we can check out the system software. So this, I believe, is running System 7.5. Yes, it is. And yeah, it's a cool old-fashioned thing with the cool old-fashioned Picasso Mac logo. So yeah, I don't actually have that much software installed on this because the CD caddy and floppy drive do not work. The CD caddy just spits all the discs right out, and I do have the original install CD for the Macintosh TV that legit says Macintosh TV on it. It's pretty cool, but it doesn't work. It just spits it right out, and the floppy drive says it won't read it, and if I try to install the disc, it will fail. So otherwise, you do have this jigsaw puzzle, but everyone's seen that. You have sticky notes, scrapbook, all that stuff you'd normally have on this computer. Now let's get to the real fun part, switching to TV mode. Basically, the normal way to switch it is by pressing Command and Tab. Once you do that, the screen will dim out, and you've now successfully entered TV mode. Use the arrow keys to control what channel you want to go to. Use the side arrow keys to go up channels, and then you use the up channel keys to choose the input, tint, sharpness, contrast, balance, treble, bass, and sound, and volume. And yeah. So there's TV and video mode. Video mode uses the inputs on the back. So because I don't have any software loaded on this, I'm going to plug in my plug and play Pac-Man machine, and we're going to try it out. So yeah, let me hook it up. So guys, the item that we're going to be using to play games on is this. This is a plug and play Pac-Man machine. It's basically a controller with a joystick and A and B buttons that looks like Pac-Man, and on the other side of it are these composite cables that are perfect for this kind of thing because it uses composite outputs. So this is good for old TVs or just computers with video capture cards if you want to try them out or something. But this is a nice little machine. It comes with 12 original Bandai games and Pac-Man games, and it's just a really fun little system. I got it for $20 at Barnes & Noble, and usually you can find these at $12 at some other places. But yeah, I'm gonna plug this in, and we're going to play some Pac-Man. So, yeah. So now that it's plugged in, we will switch to video mode by doing this, and then it'll switch, and then the screen will go black. You turn it on, and it works. So it comes with all these games that you see here, but it's still loading. Bandai, please don't copyright me. And yeah, you have this game selection, and you have a whole bunch of different games to choose from. It's a bit loud though, but so I'll put the volume low. But yeah, this is a cool little machine. I've already done a video on it, but I haven't really done a video on all the videos just yet. I've done a video on Dig Dug, Galaga, Galaxian, and Pac-Man, of course. And I'm still planning on doing some videos on the other Pac-Man games. But yeah, the picture quality isn't that great. Compare it to TVs of the time, but you shouldn't really expect that much from something like this that did so terribly. There might just be something in there that's wrong, but I'm not sure. But for now, it's pretty good. So now that we have this plugged in, let's try the volume, and let's try a game of Pac-Man. So the sound is pretty nice. It's just like what you'd expect. The speakers aren't that bad on this computer. It sounds alright. It might be just that it has an old game. It's just an old game, but everything works really nicely. It's just what you'd expect from a TV. It does all the things you'd want a TV to do. And yeah, it's just a really fun little machine. So yeah, it was fun while it lasted. Anyway, so now that we have successfully demonstrated the software on this computer, it is time to look into some more features about this computer. So guys, before I do end this video, I would like to point out some things and what it's like to own a rare computer. So there's some pros and cons of owning one. So the pros is that it's a rare computer and it stands out from all the other computers that you see normally at like maybe a vintage computer show, or if you went to some sort of convention and you could bring a computer. This is something cool to show off. And it is a really nice computer, and it has some cool features, but there are some cons that come with this computer. Because it's a rare computer, parts are rare. This black enclosure is probably the rarest part. The remote is a bit more common than the computer, but they are very expensive. They go from like maybe $20 to $50. Keyboard and mouse are very expensive too. If your computer did not come with it, it's very rare. And just finding parts in general like this for this sort of computer are very rare. But otherwise, if you have everything, it's a very enjoyable computer to own. It could be a bit expensive at first, but then when you've got it all, it's a very good computer. So now that we have gone over that, it is time to end the. So that'll do it with my review on the 1993 Macintosh TV. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you all for watching. Please leave a comment. Please leave a comment down below, and like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.